Hey everybody, let's go ahead and start our guided practice here, because this is not really anything new, but I want to practice this a little bit more. When we do these kind of problems, what we want to do is we first want to identify what kind of angle we're dealing with, and then knowing that information, we need to figure out what the value of x is. And then from there, if you wanted to, you can actually figure out the measurement of each angle as well. This one right here, we've got one of these squares in the corner, which represents a complementary angle. So those are complementary. That means they add up to 90 degrees. Now, knowing that information, that is enough to figure out how to set up your equation. Now, so when you set up your equation, we're going to set it up where we have the sum of those two angles. We have 2x, and we have another angle, which is x. And we want to make those equal to what complementary angles are equal to, which is 90. And now just go through the process of solving it. 2x and 1x, if you remember correctly, 2x and 1x makes 3x. Make that equal to 90. And now you just have a one-step equation at this point. Divide both sides by 3, and then x equals 30. Now this is probably not to scale, but if you wanted to figure out what the angles were, yeah, this is 30, and this is 2 times 30, 2 times x, which is 60. And then 60 and 30 does make 90. So that's your first example there. So it's important that you first start out by showing what kind of angle it is. And then from there, setting it up accordingly. We know it's complementary. We know it adds up to 90. Now this next one has a lot going on, so don't get too intimidated by what's going on there. But what we have is right here, we have what is called a straight angle. Now straight angle adds up to 180 degrees. And then you have 3 angles here that make up that straight angle. So those 3 angles have to be supplementary. So now knowing that they're supplementary, let's set up our equation. So we've got our first expression, which is x plus 30. We have our second expression, which is 115 minus x. And we have our third expression, which is x. And then we're going to make that all equal to 180 degrees. Now I'm going to go ahead and put like terms together. Now one thing you might notice here is that the x terms right here, this is 1x and this is minus 1x. Those cancel each other out. And then that's all that's left is 1x. So you got x there, and now all we're left with is to add the constants. So 30 plus 115 is 145 degrees. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and subtract 145 from both sides. And that should tell us what x is. So x is going to equal 35 degrees. 180 minus 45 is 35. And this wasn't asking for this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. So that's 35 degrees. Well, this is going to be 115 minus 35, which is going to be 80 degrees. And then this is going to be 35 plus 30, which is 65. And then we can see if does that all kind of work out. This is 65 degrees. This is 80 degrees. This is 35. Does all that add up to 180? Hopefully it does. 65 plus 35 plus 80 is 180 degrees. Okay, for the next example, this is our last example. This one is an example of vertical angles. Now to kind of refresh your memory on vertical angles share a vertex, so they share that point. They're directly opposite of one another. All right, they have nothing to do with being vertical. They have more to do with, like I said in the previous lesson, having to do with sharing a vertex. The most important thing that you need to understand about a vertical angle or vertical angles is that they have the same measurement. They're the same measure. So you can set up, in this case, when we set this up, this is going to be set up a little bit different than the previous two, because we're not going to do 2x plus 104 equals 90. That's not going to work because they're not complementary. We're not going to say that 2x plus 104 equals 180 because they're not supplementary. What we're saying is that they're equal to one another. So if they're equal to one another, you're going to set up your equation where it's 2x equals the other angle, 104. One angle equals the other. So you want to set it up so that one side equals the other. So now this is a really simple equation to solve. So you just have to divide both sides by 2. and then you get your answer. X equals 52 degrees. Okay, so that does it. So I just wanted to go ahead and just do 3 examples with you just so you know what's going on with these kind of problems. Make sure I'm doing something a little bit different here. I'm doing a Google form. Fill out the Google form. Make sure you watch the video, of course, which I shouldn't have to say if you're listening to me right now. Take the notes, and I don't care if you print them out or write them out somewhere on a piece of notebook paper, but you should be writing them out, not just watching the video. Do these problems, okay? So that will count as today's assignment. Tomorrow, there will be a quiz. You're gonna have a quiz. So a quiz will be on a Google form as well. So I thought I'd put this out there today so that you guys know what's going on with the Google form, and then tomorrow you'll be ready to do it again, but it'll be an official grade. So that'll be your quiz. So everyone have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, do all those things. All right, everyone, I'll see you later.